welcome to JB Trio Podcast, Season 9, Episode 8. I'm Lee McDonald Jr.
Chris, the comeback kid with Mancy.
That's Chris, the no-show with Mancy.
Okay.
Mark, the ancient warrior merchant.
And the reason for the nickname is because Chris missed again. This is his third week this season. He abandoned his team with a no-call, no-show. But at least Camilla showed up last week, and she bowled pretty good. But Chris, what's going on? Why are you missing all these weeks?
Well, Chris, before you answer that, there was two rumors going around last week while you weren't there. One is you had a bad case of hemorrhoids again.
I wonder who started that rumor.
It re-flared.
Yeah, and I think Camilla confirmed that. But the other reason people thought you weren't there was it was going to be payoff for the person that won the scratch bracket, and somebody said you spent all the money.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's where they were questioning.
Somebody said you spent all the money. You claimed you got mugged out in the parking lot. But we knew better. You used it all at Whataburger.
Yeah, we missed you last week, and we crowned a winner. I think it was Brian Brimmerman.
Yep.
And so we got his trophy. I was going to present it last week, but you were not there. So I wanted to make sure you got your picture taken with him this week. Now you got it.
I gave Eric his money Saturday, right?
I will say, if you don't show up tomorrow to give Brian his money, he's going to be sending some people out after you.
Yes, Brian will get his $240, well deserved.
240, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
How did I not know about that?
It used to be 260 until Chris took 40 for himself.
Well, I gave 40 to Eric for coming in second. It was $280 total, and it was a good payout. 14 players to 14 players. It was 15, but Joe Bear had to drop out. So
wow, that's amazing. So yeah, and then we've got our handicap bracket that we got to the final two. We've got final four results. We'll tell those here after the fastest 3 minutes of bowling, and so we'll get to those results here in a second. But yeah, so dang, I didn't know the scratch bracket was that much. 240.
I paid out two placements so they don't have to say, okay, we'll split it like they always did last season.
Oh yeah. Well, if I didn't know it was that much money, I'd have tried harder.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should pay two places, but what was the real reason you didn't show up? Was it the hemorrhoids, like Camilla said?
The real reason I didn't show up because I was training late with my son. He had the first round of playoffs for baseball, and I wanted him to get good sleep, good training, and we didn't get done training till like 9:15, and I was like tired, and I wanted him to get a good sleep for his first round of playoffs and baseball and all that.
That's not what Camilla told us last week.
What?
You teaching him how to run around the bases?
Everything. I mean, everything.
That's your strength, running around the bases, isn't it?
No. I mean, that's how you play baseball. Uh-huh.
Well, how come when we asked Camilla last week, she said you guys didn't have training that day?
We did.
Well, who's lying? You're lying or she's lying?
I think we have misconfused.
She's lying?
No, she'll never lie.
Wow.
She said you had a bad case of hemorrhoids.
Uh-huh.
She's got to go to a smaller bottle.
I mean, she would know if I have hemorrhoids. She would know if I have hemorrhoids. She checks it every day.
Oh, she checks your prostate every day?
Every day.
Oh, man.
Why go to a doctor when your wife does it for free?
Well, I forget you guys are into that kinky stuff.
He's getting finger lifts.
Oh.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Well, as long that's why Camilla's not the cook of the house.
Her hands are dirty.
Oh God! We were playing poker the other night, and I did hear Cody kept saying, "He's like, I smell shit. What is that?" So maybe that's what it was. Maybe.
No, maybe. I think it was a baby at the party.
Well, he got his clock cleaned after you came back in, so you took a lot of his money.
I did.
He said he was at 140 and he got down to 90, so you took some took some money off him during your cash game.
Oh, no wonder why you're able to pay Brian.
I didn't want to say nothing.
Lee, who put me in that night?
Yeah, I put him in.
He put me in.
Because he had spent all the league. He spent the money. Good thing he won it.
I didn't want to spend the money. See?
Oh.
See?
That's why he's coming clean. So that's why he didn't show. Well, now he can come back because now he can pay back the money out of the piggy bank, and there you have it.
Brian won by a whopping, 87 pins.
Yeah, he kicked his ass.
87 pins.
Yeah, good for Brian. He deserves it.
Yeah, and I will say though, your team they were really excited that you didn't show up last week, and they definitely showed it on the lanes too.
They won. They really did. While we're on that subject, why don't we go ahead and go over the results of last week and everybody else's results in the fastest 3 minutes of bowling.
High 40s. We're still in ninth place.
All right, so first off on lanes 21-22, we had team number 6, the Housequake, fought my team, Hop to a Whap. And we ended up coming through with a victory, thank goodness, 32 out of 48. I remember bowling not too bad. I think it was in the 560s. Peyton didn't bowl so hot, and David bowled good. They were really low, though.
Yeah, Lee, didn't you have like a 139 game or something?
I had a 134, and then I shot a 234 the next game. I tried to do my best Woodman Z impression since he missed last week.
You did a good job.
Yeah, I had 2 Greek churches back-to-back in honor of Chris.
Oh, you're welcome.
I did. I literally did have 2 Greek churches back-to-back. But yeah, we come back. We did pretty good. We lost that first game. That was my low game. But Peyton, he struggled a little bit. I think he barely cracked 500. But second week in a row, he struggled. But he's maintaining that handicap. He's actually got the same average as you, Chris, 189. So hopefully we get to bowl you guys again soon.
Yeah, and then David kept jumping on my lane.
Yeah, he did. He likes that one hop.
Yeah, every time I get up there, he jumps on my lane.
Well, yeah, I think he said he tinkles a little bit on your lane.
Oh, okay. That's why the lanes are a little brown spots on there. I see.
He said like his like Persephone bag, that
colostomy bag.
Colostomy bag.
The older you get, the more you know that stuff.
It drips and he hops, so he does it on purpose.
I don't know. Somebody says he wears Depends.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, I thought that's what you wore when you had hemorrhoids.
Well, yeah, Chris would know about that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, man. All right, so next pair before we throw up. Team number 2 was Kyle, Mark, and Ron. We got balls. They bowled the blind team. Actually, no, there was no blind team. They bowled team 11, 3 fingers deep. The 3 fingers deep ended up post bowling, which Mark may have a comment or two about that because of certain circumstances. But so as it turns out, the scores that are on my sheet are not including their post bowl scores because they literally just finished bowling those post bowl scores like 2 hours ago. But the results were Mark's team ended up winning 14 out of 34, and 3 Fingers Deep won 34 out of 48. So 3 Fingers Deep ended up with a win. We'll go over those and beat Mark's picks here, see who ended up picking Mark and who picked Andre's team and George's team, George the Animal. So we'll get those here shortly. Next pair was team number 8, Almost Empty Nest, against team 12, Pin High. I picked Almost Empty Nest because Pin High does not like me picking them, but Pin High came through with the victory, so they cost me a victory. And they ended up crushing them, 40 out of 48. So kudos back to Pin High being back on the winning streak. So we'll see how many more weeks they're going to come back and win. All right, next pair was Team 3. That's the only dads minus Chris. So it was just Diego and Chris Saunders. So it was, instead of CDC, it was just CDs. So CD's nuts. I mean,
CD's nuts. I was about to say that.
I beat you to it. They bowled against team number 5, which is In-Laws Are Outlaws, so it was a family affair. That's Chris's wife's team, Tina Saunders and his brother Eric. They crushed them 46 out of 48, so the only 2 points they lost was on Chris's, the man that was missing, Chris Woodmansey. Next pair was Team 4, Mustache Ride, which is Brian's team. They bowled against team number 9, the Ball Fondlers. And Ball Fondlers, for the first time in months, finally took an L. But it was, of course, almost a Kiss Your Sister L. They only won 22 out of 48. But it's the first loss that they've taken since the beginning part of this league. So we'll find out where they ended up in the standings here shortly. Last pair was Team 7, Long Live Rock. That's Neil's team. They bowled against Chris's wife's team, Camilla, against Team 10, Here for the Beer. And Neil's team come through with a victory. They actually won 32 out of 48. Neil asked Ryan to sub for Jill. Gilbert did okay, didn't do great. He averaged about 205, shot 616, but Neil was the one that come in clutch, shooting 690. So Neil, 675. So Neil come through for his team, bowling the highest series in the league that week. So kudos to Neil. I knew he would come through in the clutch and use that killer instinct that he's got. And so come through, and they whooped up on the second place team. So we've got an adjusted, we're going over the standings now, but we've got an adjusted standings because we got to enter in the adjusted win-loss for both Here for the Beer and Three Fingers Deep. So, but in first place, still in first at 290 is the Ball Fondlers, so they maintain first. Here for the Beer maintains second place. They're at 283. Now, I think here's where we start to get the adjustments in. Mark, what is the point total for Three Fingers Deep?
Well, Long Live Rock is in third, and then Three Fingers Deep will be 262.
All right, so a Long Live Rock at 272. They're in third. And then in fourth place, we've got Three Fingers Deep at 262. Okay, and then that dropped you guys to, how many points do you guys have?
7. We're in 7 to 234.
234. Okay, so then my team is in fourth place. Wow, I can't believe that. So we're at 241. Mustache Ride is in sixth place at 239. We Got Balls at 237. First place down to seventh. What is going on? Eighth place, Almost Empty Nest at 224. Only Dad's only 2 spots behind Mark's team. They're in ninth place at 220 and moving up with a bullet. In 10th place at 216 is In-Laws Are Outlaws. Pin High is in 11th place at 212. They're on their tail. And in last place, which is not a very unfamiliar spot for them, but they are able to come back just like they have in the past. Housequake, Ensline, Henderson, and Patrick in last place currently at 187.
Dang, suck it.
Yeah.
There you have it. There's the fastest 3 minutes.
And this, Lee, this is how I feel about our team right now.
They're blowing it.
The ship has sailed.
Oh, you're calling it? It's the Titanic? You guys are no longer competing for first?
No, it's been tough. I mean, we're giving spotting teams every week. We're going to be spotting points this week, too.
That high average you and Ron did, just, man, it was, I mean, I would say between you both, let's say if you add up your averages over the years, I'd say you guys would be close to around 390, just the two of you. But between this year, you guys were actually close to 430. So basically you and Ron were 40 pins higher, just you two bowlers, 40 pins higher in average than what you had been in years past. And so that was just really hard to maintain. It hasn't leveled out yet. You guys are still about 416 between the both of you. It's getting closer.
And here's the deal, though. When you talk, you talk about us being like, let's say 40 pins above what we were.
Yeah.
There are a lot of bowlers, and Lee, you're one, and Peyton's another, and Chris is another, and Neil's another that is below 40. What they were.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
You know what I mean?
Like me and Peyton, Last year we were at 204, 202. So that's 406. And right now we're probably at, I'd say 375. So that's about 30, almost 30 pins less than what we were. So if we're at 30 pins less, but you guys are 40 pins up, that's a 70 pin.
It compounds, you know what I mean? Like, compounds it, because not only were we bowling well and above what we had been bowling, people have been bowling well below what they have been bowling.
And see,
so it just compounds the league.
At the start of the league, when you maintain those averages, that's why you were at such a great start, because basically you were bowling those scores. Whereas now you've got to maintain it, and that's the hardest part, is to maintain it. And so as the weeks go by, that's why you guys went from first and then in a 3-week span down to seventh. It's just so hard to maintain when you consider lane conditions and people you bowl against have a lot of a high handicap. And so, yeah, it was tough. But, I mean, it could be leveling out. We could see you guys come back. What do you think, Chris? You think they got a shot?
No.
You don't have any faith in Mark's team?
No.
Like, if you guys bowled heads up, would you have enough faith to pick your team to beat them?
Yes.
Oh, wow. There was no hesitation there.
You know why, though? I say that because I'm still building up my handicap. So by the time I bowl them, I should, if I time it right, I should have a 179 average.
Well, the whole league is down except for Mark's team, though. Even he was in the 180s before he went on this hot streak. Now he's almost back at 200. But everybody in the league was down except maybe one or two teams. And it's just been a struggle. I don't know if it's maybe an adjustment from going from the summer to the fall, or if maybe people took the summer off and they're rusty. I know I'm one of those that I took the summer off and I haven't bowled in the 180s in probably 20 years. I know my body's unfortunately breaking down, fucking thing. But I haven't been this low, and I can't remember when. And I'm still rusty. I still haven't made my way back.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only chance we have to losing Chris again is if Chris doesn't show up. That team bowls good without him.
I don't know why. They don't have my criticism or support.
I can tell you, they say you don't shut up.
Oh,
I'm there supporting them. I tell them how to bowl, and they bowl great.
You give them encouragement by saying, "Learn to fucking strike, guys." Or something.
Yeah, and you know what they do? They strike.
That's a good point. Yeah, so it's just I don't know if it's just, and I hesitate to say lane condition, but that does play a small part of it, because the lane shot's been tough here as of late. It seems like it's a flat pattern. Well, of course, we're on a bowl on shot because we're the second shift, so we're not on a fresh shot.
It's just like anti-old people.
You know, it could be that, because what I do find is, and the reason why I think it's a flat pattern is, it could be the mechanic may not be putting in the right program or cleaning the back ends of the lanes like it should be, but it just seems like it's heavy oil on the outside and dry in the middle, which would kind of go into Chris's theory that it's an older person's shot because they bowl more so straight or in the middle of the lane, using up all the oil in the middle. And so when we get on it, it's just so dry in the middle, you can't get your ball to stay from overhooking. So then you move your shot more out towards the edge, but that's where the oil is. And so if you get your ball out there, it ain't coming back.
Yeah.
So,
you know, to me, it comes down to both lanes aren't consistent. One might be hooking, the other's not hooking as quite as much. I think that's part of it for me. And then the other part is, man, bad racks. I mean, I've never seen so many seven. I mean, Peyton shot what, 2 or 3 7-10s last week?
He did. He really did.
And, I mean, I've seen some shots, stoned 8s, 9s, 7s. It's like the racks, they just, I don't know, bad racks. They just too much space between the head pin and the 2 pin or 3 pin, you know.
That would be I would encourage USBC to find a way to incorporate little mini cameras inside each rack. And when you leave your shot, instead of showing a cartoon copy of a random rack where all the pins are lined up, show us the actual camera shot of what we left between the first and second ball.
That'll cost them so much money.
Well, don't put it on USBC. Put it on the bowling alley. Tell them, say, hey, if you want to be a certified USBC league, this has to be incorporated in it. I don't think USBC would have a hard time getting that passed.
Well, you know what I can tell you, Lee? That's like string bowling. You should see them, man. Those racks come down on string bowling. Perfect. Wow. I mean, the pins, you would be amazed. They aren't shaking. They get set right on spot. Yeah, I mean,
they get pulled. They get pulled all the way through.
I mean, those pins don't shake. They get set right on spot. I mean, every single time.
Yeah, they got to figure out how to see what they can do about regular 10-pin bowling when they have those racks come down like that. Because that does make a difference. You don't want an out-of-alignment rack constantly hindering your chances of getting a strike. And because that does matter. A lot of bowling alleys that are around the area that aren't AMF-related have had a lot of success, a lot more success. And just for example, Jenna, I don't know if you guys saw the video from Jenna the other night from Greg Carlton's daughter, our JB Trio bowler. Greg Carlton used to be my teammate last year. His daughter Jenna, who's been in youth bowling for most of her life, shot her first honor score this week when she shot a 299, 759 series. So congrats to Jenna. She was one of the bowlers that made us consider going to a youth adult league last summer, which we couldn't get that pass. Unfortunately, it was just too tough to get all the new rules in place to have a youth adult league. But she stayed in youth, and so she's killing it. She shot a 299, and Greg called it. He said that he told me last Tuesday. He said that she's been bowling so great. She's just on the cusp of an honor score, and I wouldn't doubt if it happens within the next few weeks. And sure enough, the very next league night that she had, or league day, I think it was Saturday day, or it may have been in a tournament on Sunday. I can't remember which day. But she ended up bowling that 299, and just like her dad said, and every shot was very solid, just the last shot coming just a little high, or the ball may have been slow just a hair, and it left a solid 4-pin.
You know what they ought to do? Like back in the day when I bowled, they had a youth adult tournament, and the adults, what would happen is they'd have a youth and adult tournament on Sunday.
Yep.
And they'd have two squads. Youth league would win, obviously they'd win trophies or something like that. It'd be like a doubles or two kids with one adult. But you had to average, the adults would have a tournament Saturday night. And you had to be eligible to bowl as an adult in the tournament, you had to average, let's say, 200. And you had to average 200 to be able to bowl in the adult. So, Chris, that would eliminate you from being able to bowl. But, we'd have to maybe drop it down to 190. It would still eliminate you. But
Me too.
But here's the good thing about it. Like the adults would have a tournament Saturday night, and it would be a step ladder, 5 bowls, 4. After they cut it down to 5, it'd be 5 bowls, 4, the winner bowls 3. And then when they came down to the final match, they wouldn't have that. The final match would be in the middle of the morning squad and the afternoon squad on Sunday. And and first place would get $1,000.
Dang.
Yeah. And then, like I said, they had a squad at 9 o'clock with the kids and the adults, and they would give trophies to winners. And then in the afternoon, the squad started, they'd give out trophies. But in between, they'd have the final match that, the adults had from the night before. It was pretty cool,
Cool, yeah.
Yeah. And then, especially some of the little kids getting to bowl with, some of the adult bowlers and then winning trophies. I don't know how it goes now, though. They could do it with sponsored money or something like that for the
Was
adult
this
league.
pre-COVID or after COVID?
No, this was way back in the day. This is probably like 20 years ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's back when bowling was at its peak, I think, in
Yeah, really.
early 2000s, and then just seems to keep going downhill every year. That's back when
Nice
the PBA. That's back when the PBA was on like 6 months out of the year. Now it's barely on anymore.
Yeah.
But all right. So one thing I do want to go over real quick is we've got the JB Trio Fall Bracket. We got the final 4 results in, and man, they were close, or at least for one pair it was. So on the west side, we had Jose Beltre, who had advanced the week prior against Brandon Jolly, pulled off a very big upset victory against the number 1 seed Brandon, who had his first off week in a while. And as you heard earlier, he was bowler of the week again this week. And then Jose Beltre went up against Craig Voren, who Craig had beat Chris the week prior to that by only less than 7 pins. So it was a close match for Craig to even match up against Jose. And so they bowled against each other that week. So Jose, number 7 seed, against Craig, 13th. So Craig would have had to pull off the victory to get an upset, but was just falling short. Jose bowled 638 with his handicap, and Craig bowled 633 with his handicap. So he beat Chris by 7 pins the week before, but he lost to Jose by 5 pins the week after. So unfortunately, Craig could not pull through. Jose is in the final 2. And then on the other side, on the Eastern bracket, this one was a big landslide victory. This was like Trump against Camilla. And this one, it was TJ Phelps in the 12th seed against the 2nd seeded Peyton Estes. And this was an upset victory. TJ had bowled 674 with his handicap, so did really good. Peyton did really bad. He only shot 584. So the 2nd seed goes down by more than, about 90 pins difference. TJ advances. So the final 2 will be 7th seeded Jose Beltre, the baseball player, against TJ Phelps, who's seeded 12th. So TJ will be the underdog in this. I'm not sure exactly what the spread's going to look like. If I had to guess, I'd say TJ will get the edge on that and be getting a few pins, maybe close to somewhere between 10 to 15 pins against Jose. But they'll be bowling for the final 2 spots for the fall bracket. So it's already been 6 weeks. So we've had 2 qualifying rounds and 2 bowling rounds, or no, 3 bowling rounds, and now we're in the finals.
Be 19 pins a game.
19 that TJ's getting?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good amount of pins. Like what we were talking about earlier, where one guy's up and the other guy's lower.
Yeah, Beltre beat me the very first week by 1 pin, striking out in the 10th.
That's crazy.
Yep. We were bowling the same pair, and he struck out the 10 to win by 1.
Yeah, Jose, he's good. And he's got a smooth shot too. I really like his shot. He's got good rotation. He doesn't crank on it too much.
Got a 2.5 step delivery.
Yeah, I noticed that he doesn't really take that many steps.
2.5 steps.
So Jose, he's a good bowler. I'd have to give him the edge over TJ. Although TJ, you never know, he could roll. He could shoot a 700 series scratch. So it's hard to say. I know TJ's the underdog as far as consistency. I'd say that's probably his biggest downfall. But he does have the capability of bowling higher. Maybe with the extra motivation, he'll pull out this victory. But I don't know. What do you think, Chris?
He's bowling on 27 and 8. That's not a good pair.
It's not a good pair.
And you got to remember, Beltre is bowling with Camilla.
Camilla, who's tested Chris's prostate. Yes.
Okay. I mean, I want.
Now I know why he doesn't slap him.
I want Camilla to win. So I'll tell you that. I want Camilla to win.
So you're going for her teammate?
But it's just a handicap, dude.
19
pins. Yeah, that's tough. Almost 20 pins is a lot.
Like, if it wasn't that, easy Beltray, but all right, Beltray, fuck it.
I'm going to pick Jose with you. I think just the consistency is what's coming into play. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, only because TJ is going to be bowling a tough team this week. That's going to put a lot of extra pressure on him.
Who's he bowling? He's bowling. We got balls. That's right. He is bowling. We got balls this week.
Yeah, so it's going to be added pressure on him. So I'll go with Jose.
I don't understand if CJ know what pressure is.
I mean, think about it. Jose's bowling the only dads. I mean, that's a gimme. Yeah, that's a give me. And then you get TJ up against we got balls. Forget it. TJ is going to be under a lot of extreme pressure than Beltray.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Well, you know what? Now that you mention it, Chris, do you got anything on the scratch bracket you want to go over, or we already covered it?
I mean, other than that, congratulations to Brian.
Did you really get mugged?
I paid Eric Saunders has his money. Right? I just got to pay up Brian, which I will tomorrow, with the picture and plaque.
So you got a loan from Chris Saunders?
No, I paid Saunders. I paid him his $40 too.
He won in poker, so he's
Eric Saunders. You paid Eric, right? Eric Saunders. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier coming up with $40 than 200 something.
$280.
He knows every penny.
Mm-hmm. I will be taking names for the upcoming second season Coke Bottle Scratch Bracket.
I'll be
taking names and payment if you don't want to pay, but it won't start until next Tuesday.
You sure you want to not take payment? Because just in case if we get any bowlers that lose that first week and say, I didn't want to join anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that does happen, but I mean, it's just people don't have money, so their word is as good as their bond. So that's what I take.
Oh, okay.
I will say, though, I think you ought to change the name to the Hemorrhoid Open.
Actually, I like the Hemrods.
Hemrods. The Hemrods. The Hemrods.
Here we go with the long-awaited results of last week. As you all know, we were dead even going into last week. All of us tied with the same record.
I'm really worried.
Yeah, 24 wins, 18 losses. We were all tied. Well, there's still a tie.
Oh.
Only between two people.
It ain't me.
And the results are in. Mark, 4 wins, 2 losses. Gives him a 28-20 record. Lee, 4 wins, 2 losses.
Oh, it is me. So it means it's Chris.
Yeah, 28-20. And Chris, man, you went 3-3. So you're only a game back. And I think the game that screwed you was picking your wife to win over Neil Brady's team.
Wow.
It's not even Neil Brady's team. It was fucking Ryan Curtis.
Yeah. I'm sure if you knew Ryan Curtis was going to be in there, you might have made a switch.
Oh, and remember we said on the announcement, you weren't there, Chris, but I made the announcement for Mystery Score that whoever wanted to find out Neil's nickname that you gave him, what's his nickname?
Neil fucking Brady?
Yes. So I kept saying Neil blanking Brady, and they kept saying, what is it? What is it? So now they know. Neil
fucking Brady.
Fucking Brady.
Well, that was the turning point right there. And I think maybe if you knew that Ryan Curtis was going to be bowling, you might have changed your pick.
And Brian actually hurt him because he bowled under average.
Yeah, he had that one good middle game, I guess.
Yeah. He brought in the 220 average. He actually averages 222 from last fall on Thursdays. So he didn't bowl 660. He only bowled, I think it was 605 or something. So he was way under.
And Neil bowled really well. Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yes, it was Neil that propelled him.
Yeah, for sure.
So Chris is in third place.
Still stupid.
He's in last place again.
Stupid.
Yeah.
but only by 1 point. So we'll see.
It's who you bowl when you bowl them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, look we had third highest handicap score last week, and we go down winning only 14.
So, Chris, we'll give you the luxury of picking last on every pick then. That way you get to find out what me and Mark pick first.
Yeah. And let me get the Jeopardy music teed up.
All right, I'm okay with this.
All right, so the first pair we got on 21 and 22, we got Team 3, Only Dads, right off the bat, leading off against Team 10, here for the beer in second place. That is Jose Belcher, the baseball player, Mike Wang, and Camilla Woodmansey Garcia. Or is it just Woodmansey? I thought we hyphenated her name for tax purposes.
Nah, it's just Camille Woodmansey. You said it right.
All right, so what's the spread on this, Mark?
Well, Chris, let me ask you, how many pins do you think you need against this team?
60.
Seriously, 60?
Yep.
Well, then we know who he's taking.
Oh,
the spread is 14 pins.
What?
60
14.
pins. Oh, my God.
14?
I can't believe he said 60.
14.
Oh, my God. Fuck.
Now, you're going last. So
It's a trash game.
I've got to go with the analytics, and I've got to go with here for the beer.
Oh, definitely, Lee. You ain't going with no analytics. You're just going with you're going with the winner for sure.
I got to make it sound nice.
Yeah, I guess you're trying to be just straight guy. Yeah, I'm going with here for the beer.
All right, Chris, can you do it?
Chris's team needs another 46 pins on that 14 to have a shot.
What do you say, Chris?
Shit. It's basically like a scratch game.
It almost is.
It's 1 month. Yeah.
Oh, man. Camilla's team.
Oh, and you bowl your wife heads up.
Yeah.
Are you going to ignore her, or are you going to treat her like crap while you're bowling?
I'm going to treat her like crap.
Wow.
Because when we're bowling together, she's not my wife.
So you guys are ultra competitive, I bet, like when you play cards and stuff.
Yes.
Or board games. Well, we'll see. I think this is the first time you actually bowling heads up.
First time. This is going to be the first time. Yes.
You better not chicken out of that spot. You better stay in that second spot.
You know, Lee, I've got to say, there was one time I can remember where Chris's team sat with the other team and he sat by himself.
Oh, I do remember that. I remember that. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, it's the only time I've ever seen it happen. It's happened with Chris, and the way things are going with Chris Saunders and Diego, that might be sitting with, it might be sitting with him.
It could happen again if Chris gets down again. And I remember that night. Chris was like as red as an apple that night. Well, Chris, you better not let deja vu happen again.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I hope she wins.
Because it helped your pick. No sandbagging either.
No,
you made the right choice.
No, I mean, to be honest, I'm voting for her as my safety net, but I truly want to win.
Well, good. Well, let's see what happens. All right, next pair.
I hope we lose. I hope we all take a loss.
That would be nice. Next pair, 23 and 24, we've got team number 9, the Ball Founders, which, again, they were the hottest team in the league, although they took a loss last week against team number 8, Almost Empty Nest. What's the spread on this, Mark?
What do you think? I like asking that question. What would you say?
This one I actually think is going to be close. Less than 30.
Okay. Almost Empty Nesters gets 62.
Oh, wow. That's a lot more than I thought. Holy crap.
I'm taking the Bond Fondlers here. The Ball Fondlers.
I'm going to have to go with Mark. I think the Ball Founders, because they've proven they've been the hottest team in the league. They just, it's hard to maintain the hotness. So, but I think if you have a clunker one week, you bounce right back the next week. So I'm going to go with Ball Founders.
I mean, how they're getting so lucky, that's a question I can't even answer. Like, they're getting lucky, guys. I mean, I don't care who you are. They're getting fucking lucky.
Wow. That's quite a bold statement.
They are? Are you serious?
No, I mean, lucky is 1 or 2 weeks of winning. They won like 6 out of 7 weeks.
Yeah, but they're getting lucky.
So you say. So you say.
So you're taking the almost empty nesters?
But no, they're gonna win.
Oh, wow. So you're on ball farmers.
Yeah.
All right. We're all the same pick so far, all unanimous.
But it will change when my team goes against them.
Ah, I see how it is. Well, the next pair is my team, Hawk to a Wap against Mustache Ride. This will be tough. A battle almost position round like it's 5th place against 6th. What's the spread on this, Mark?
How many pins you think you need to get, Lee?
Can I get 100, please? I'm not even sure if we're actually giving pins. We might be getting pins.
Yeah, you're getting. How many do you want to get? How many do you want to get?
If I had to give a realistic number, I'd say less than 10.
29.
29. Wow, really? That much? That's a good number. I like that. I feel better about that.
29.
I was going to go with 13, but I think after hearing the 29, I think I'm going to go with my team. That's a lot of handicap for our team.
What lane are they on?
We're on 25 and 26.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Mustache Ride to kick white ass pussies this week.
Wet ass penis.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen. That's most likely going to happen.
Yeah, I'm going with Mustache Ride here.
So our first divided pick. What's Chris got? Chris?
Yeah, I got Mustache Ride on this one.
Wow, no faith in my team. Okay, I see how it is. I probably am stupid for picking my team, but I just know that 29 pins is a lot. All right, next pair. Team number 2, we got Balls against Team 7, Long Live Rock, the Battle of the East Coast. Now, what I think the spread is going to be on this,
Yeah, what do you think?
It's going to be within 20 pins.
Yep. Team Long Live Rock, Backdoor Men, are going to get 19 pins.
Oh, they're getting pins from you guys? Oh, wow.
Getting 19 pins. And,
oh, my goodness.
And now we have to deal with David jumping on the lane again.
Because you guys are next to us. Man, I hate that you guys are in such a slump, but unfortunately, I got to go with Long Live Rock because I've picked you guys the last 3 weeks in a row, and I've taken L's for each week. So I'm going to have to go with Long Live Rock on this one.
Chris, what do you think?
Is Ryan going to be there?
No, it should be full. They should have Joe Bear back.
Yeah, Ryan shouldn't be there.
Joe Bear's team.
Joe Bear's team. Oh, okay. Mark, this is interesting. What are you going to do?
Yeah, again, how do we give them pins? I just don't get it. You know, this is like another week where, you know, we're giving George team last week this many pins. We're giving them this many pins. I feel like the teams are somewhat equal, so anything can happen. 19 is only 2 marks.
True.
Couple of bad breaks, but I think both our team and their team is pretty evenly matched. So it really depends. God, I was going to take Neil's team, but I'm going to switch into team. I got a feeling we're going to snap out of it.
Wow, that's bold.
Yeah, and look, TJ's going to be pressured to beat Beltray. He's going to fold.
That's bold. That's a bold statement. Bold proclamation. So we'll see if it comes to fruition. All right. We got the next pair, 29 and 30. Team number 5, which is In-Laws or Outlaws. That's Eric and Tina against Team 11, Three Fingers Deep, who have been bowling pretty good the last few weeks, and they post-bowled last week and ended up with good results. The spread on this, I would have to guess, should be in the 60 range.
Yeah, well, you guessed wrong. It's 93.
Wow. Man, every time I think it's small, it's big.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with Team 5 here. I'm going with In-Laws and Outlaws here. I mean, look at the shot that, you know, when you shoot this afternoon, it's a quite different shot than what we had to face Tuesday night. I just feel like Eric and Tina are going to snap out of it. They had a really bad week last week, and Not that Rick and George and Andre will bowl bad. I think if they bowl their average, I think they're going to lose.
It's a good point.
I think they're going to lose if they bowl their average.
I think I'm going to go with analytics again and go with Three Fingers Deep. I just have a hard time picking against those guys. They're all three solid bowlers, especially Rick.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that where you're going with, Chris?
Yeah, easy.
Oh, wow. Wow, what have you got against Tina and Eric?
Maybe 5 fingers deep. Eric might let it.
Hey, you know what? Rick will be the first one to tell you. Some of these teams with handicap, man, they'll put it to you.
Wait. We are not. Oh, wait. Hold on.
No, it's already locked in, Chris.
No,
It's already locked in. I wrote it down. It's locked in.
No, hold on. This is different now because only because Rick texted me. He's post bowling.
What?
They're post bowling.
They posted
That was last week. Yeah.
No, he texted me today. He said, "Hey, we're post bowling for tomorrow. Here's a dick pic."
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know it was 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, he says, "Sorry, hey, say brother, we're post bowling, so here's your weekly pick."
Oh, you're only allowed to do it twice.
I don't know if they're post bowling, Chris. So you'd have to double check on that.
I'll send you the picture. I'll send you the exact thing he sent me.
Please do not send me that picture.
Well, you know what? I can text George.
Yeah. I would text George.
I just sent you what he sent me.
Because I will say that definitely changes the picture here. You know what I mean? Like, I think under this Tuesday night condition, those guys are going to have to bowl over their average, and I'm just not sure all of them will do that. So that's the reason I'll go with In-Law Outlaws. But when you post bowl, that's a disadvantage, both on the fact that you can bowl under a better shot, but also you know what you need to bowl.
That's true.
That's definitely something that.
So you see, you're welcome, guys. See, you're welcome. I could have kept that to myself.
Yeah, but I don't. This post bowling, that kind of rubs me the wrong way when you can get a sub, you know.
Yeah, that's true too. But it is available, and if they do prefer to bowl as a team, that is an option. It's not an option they don't have. But I think either way, though, I'm pretty confident in Three Fingers Deep. They've been doing very good, and they're gelling at the right spot. They haven't set a too out of the way or out of the ordinary handicap where they can't reach. So I'm going with Three Fingers Deep.
All right, my pick, it's going to be In-Line Outlaws if they show up tomorrow night. If they don't show up tomorrow night, it's going to be Three Fingers Deep.
All right. I think I would allow the multiple scenario. And
Okay.
as long as Chris is okay with it.
Yeah, I got Three Fingers Deep.
All right, he says he's okay with it. All right.
Honestly, if I had to choose, I'm thinking Chris has probably got the right scoop. But if he doesn't, like I said, if they show up tomorrow night, I like In-Law Outlaws. If they don't, I like them.
Yeah.
Why would he text me that today at 4:30?
You're probably right. I think, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't show up, if they didn't bowl.
Yeah, he texted me at 4:30. We're post bowling tomorrow. Here's your weekly pick.
They should have pre-bowled it today.
Should have, now that I think about it. I wonder if they ran out of time with the men's league.
Yeah, did they use all? Well, I don't know. Do they use all the lanes?
I think so. I think they do.
Okay.
Or at least if they don't, then I think there may be another league right next to them.
Yeah.
But all right. So last place team. This is another position round like week. Pin High is in 11th place, bowling against a 12th place team, Housequake, team 6. What's the spread on this?
Pin High gets 66 pins.
Man.
Yeah, and that's who I'm taking, Pin High.
Who gets 66?
Pin High.
Oh, shit.
And I'm taking Pin High here.
Yeah, I hate when I pick them, but I've got no choice. They're higher in the standings.
Yeah.
And they've been on a hot streak, especially Craig. I got to go with Craig's
Craig's been bowling great, man.
So you're on Pin High?
Yeah, Pin High. Craig's been bowling above average.
Yeah. So we've got 3 teams that 3 of us are unanimous on. So it's going to come down to the middle 4 teams.
And it could, well, there's only 6 teams, so 6 matches. So 3 were spot on.
Yep.
3 were potentially different if one team doesn't post bowl. If one team post bowl, then we're only talking 2 matches that were different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big difference, which we'll go over next week here. Bowlers of the week, we had Brandon Jolly, 102 pins over, back on top. Christian Gomez, 88 pins over, and Chris Saunders, 82 over, with Neil Brady leading the whole league with a 675 scratch series. Tina Clay for the ladies coming in clutch. She bowled 54 over her average. So she's bowler of the week for the ladies, with honorable mentions to Camilla, 29 over, and Nancy Davis, 21 over. So the ladies bowled good last week, so that's always a good thing. High average is still Ron Reynolds at holding strong at 211.
So what were you saying? The ladies shot last week, Lee?
They did. They bowled pretty good. The bowler of the week was Tina Clay at 54 pins over. Camilla still leading the ladies with high average, but she's almost at 180. She's at 178 now. Brandon Jolly's leading the men with 21 pins over his beginning average. And Camilla Woodmansey's leading for most improved female at 8 pins over. And for MVP race, Andre Ordrico, again, still in the lead with 51 points over, but that's only because he had a tie in one of his weeks, ended up taking a half a point, or actually just one single point instead of 2. So that one extra point at 51 pins or points is making the difference, because the 2 guys below him are tied at 50 points. Ron Reynolds and Eric Saunders. So they're right on his tail. But yeah, so Andre is still currently leading with 51 points. Camilla is dominating for the ladies. She's currently sitting at 52, with the next closest lady, Anna Marie Davis and Nancy Davis. Anna Marie's at 39. Nancy's at 36. Didn't have any USBC scores awards for this week, so no scores made it as high for an award.
Hey, and Lee, I will say, Lee, that Ron Reynolds being 50 points, that's like you giving him all 8 points, winning all 8 last week, and he didn't. I think it was he might have won 3 or 2 out of last week, so he is not at 50.
I see what you're saying, because this is without the post bowl. That's correct. That's a good point. So good chance he's going to be in the bottom and not in the top 3. Right. So we'll find out the results next week once we get the scores entered in for this week to find out where we're at with the MVP race. If I had to look over the league real quick, because I do post the individual points for each year, and let's see who's closest to 50 right now. Looks like
I am.
Well, Camilla's actually at 52, so she's leading both sides. She's got 52 points, which is higher than men and women combined.
But she's a woman. She don't count.
So she's on the ladies' side. I may just drop that MVP ladies against men and just say, here's MVP, and that's it. And she may be MVP of both men and women.
Now, I'd have to say that you might be wrong with that, because Andre, he had 51 last week. You got him listed as 51 this week.
That's true. He is a part of that pre-bowl.
Yeah, and he did win at least one of those games against Ron, if not 2. He's actually at the minimum 53.
That's true. That's very true. Didn't think about that. So he's got a pretty good lead on MVP. So, but the next one I would have to say looks like it's going to end up being, who's at 47 right now? Brandon Jolly's at 47, followed by Mark Reynolds at 46.
Mark Reynolds? Ron Reynolds.
Mark Reynolds. Mark Merchant is at 46. That looks to be the next closest. So it looks like Brandon Jolly, followed by Mark Merchant.
Where's Chris?
Chris has got 32 points.
Oh, shit.
I missed, like we discussed, I missed 3 weeks.
I've even got 43 points.
Yeah, I guess that's true. He did miss 3 weeks.
If those count, if you want to count those. But there's your MVP. And I'm sorry, I misspoke. We actually do have some adult awards. Christian Gomez had a 600 series off a 175 average, so kudos to Christian. And Kyle Howell had a 250 over game with his 267 for his final game last week. So good job to Kyle.
No, I'm just glad Chris won in cards so that Brian doesn't have to get his buddies to go after Chris.
I have to send a hitman over to Chris's house.
Yeah, I'm glad he hit in cards. I'd hate to see something happen to him.
So we are starting a poker league. This is our 5th or 6th poker league. It's going to be a short league. It's only going to be 5 weeks long, but it's every Thursday. And if you show up at Chris's house at 7:00, we'll get you his address. We only share his address when you know that you're confirmed joining the league, but he's got about 15 players so far. And, so we play each week. Whoever wins up with the most points will make the top 6 players. I don't know how many we'll have this time around, maybe top 5 or top 4, depending on if we have more people join. But yeah, so definitely want to sign up for that. So anybody out there that's a Texas Hold'em fan, like to play a lot, just don't get a lot of chances. Maybe you don't know about the Hold'em community that's out there. It's quite a big community. There's cash games and for fun that are out there that are everywhere. We go to Old Hags and play a little bit. We go to the VFW, play a lot there. Buddy of our Gino's, he's got a game that he runs. There's a new guy in Argyle that started, Freddie. He runs a game as well. So yeah, if you're interested, just let me or Chris know and we'll talk to you more about it.
How does the point system work, Lee?
Well, say you got 15 people in.
Yeah.
Whoever gets eliminated first would take 1 point. And second person that's eliminated takes 2 points.
Okay, I get you.
Until you get to the first place where they get 15 points. Now, we don't always finish by elimination because it's a timed league. So we start at 7:00 when the buzzer goes off. And if by chance, if you're still in and alive by the time the buzzer stops at 9:30, all play stops at 9:30. And then from there, it's by chip count. So say you got 5 people that are still alive. We stop playing. We count everybody's chips. And so if you're still alive, you get an extra point, but you also end up with however many chips you have.
So you stop at 9:30, Chris's bedtime?
Exactly, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So no ifs, ands, or buts.
Well,
So that way the tournament doesn't go until midnight. It stops automatically. I think one time we had stopped the tournament. Everybody got eliminated way quick, and we did have a final winner that night. But if you manage to survive and not get eliminated, then you get an extra point there. And there's other rules in place where you get points. Like if you have the high hand of the whole night, like you get 4 of a kind, or if you get the highest hand, you get a point. We also have bounties. So people that are randomly picked at the beginning of the tournament, to be a bounty. I like to keep it hidden, but sometimes they tell at the beginning who's a bounty. If you eliminate that bounty, you get the point. But
I was going to say, so you could say that you can get a point for being that last guy that eliminates Chris.
Yes. Everybody always wants to make him a bounty. I don't know why.
Really?
Everyone want to take me out. I don't know why either.
So it turns out to be a pretty fun thing. So if anybody's interested, just talk to us, and we'll get you more information on that.
Yes.
And it's typically, what is it, $100 to get in?
Yeah, $100 is basically $20 a week. Or you can pay me weekly. You don't have to pay me the full $100. Pay me $20 a week for 5 weeks, and there you go. But there are incentives to pay early. So there are incentives. So if you pay $100 the very first day, you get $100,000 every week for the 5 weeks.
So an extra 100,000 in chips.
Thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in, and I hope you truly like it, and hope you like the poker segment. So come on, and love to see you play poker with us at my house and celebrate and have fun and relax on a Thursday night. Other than that, I know you're here to watch me win, and we are not disappointing you. We were winning every week for the past 3 weeks, strong, and we'll continue that success going forward over my wife's team. All right. So tune in to follow up how bad we beat my wife, how bad I beat her like I do at home. So tune in until then. Other than that, if you do not come back, well, we don't give a fuck. Well, It's Neil fucking Brady's fault.